catch-22. And the nice thing was we came in at half and we're all, disappointed. But I didn't see anybody with their heads down or anybody lose belief. They just came out, executed at a high level, played hard, and good things happened.
Well, speaking of good things, Tavion, he had one of his best performances.
Yeah, he did some really good things. He's been practicing that way. As I mentioned, I think that the more he can do for us, the better our offense will be. And I was really excited to be able to get to see him when the bullets are flying. He shows up.
Towards the end of that first half, the deep ball didn't quite seem to be there, especially late on those last drives. Was that miscommunication between the quarterback and receivers? What seemed to be?
I don't know if he gave AB a shot on one. I think it was the first quarter that we were a little bit long on. I'm not sure if we had him beat quite. Then we come back. That was in the second quarter. Isaiah Cummings, the one down the middle of the field. We'd love to be able to see Isaiah make that play. I just think that they weren't really giving us the shot, but we were able to execute some of the play action in the intermediate game, more on some of those out cuts and deeper, intermediate routes that I thought were good for us and thought we protected fairly well in the play pass game. But I'd love to be able to do it over again and start off with the third quarter and then be able to execute off that.
Liam, it looked like you had some different guys in there on the offensive line.
Yeah.
At the end, was that just for experience?
Yeah, experience, and Jagger kind of jammed his thumb up on a field goal block or something, on a field goal, and so we were just trying to get a couple guys in. That's what we wanted to do earlier in the game, but it didn't, unfold that way. Unfortunately, that's the frustrating part about a game like that is, we'd love to be able to see some other guys play and get evaluations and get these guys a ton of reps, and unfortunately it just didn't play out that way again, and it's all based on our execution.
You prayed at halftime with you probing a little bit, probing a little bit, I should say, to try to get the right combination on the offensive line, because it looks like they did better and you moved the ball better in the second half.
No, we stayed with the same kind of five. I just think that I might have helped them a little bit more with some play calls that gave them a little alleviation on the perimeter. I think that we ended up getting Eli some snaps at center and Tanner Bull some snaps at guard. That was a plan that we had already had in place, that we wanted to be able to get some of those reps done. But that's the frustrating part, like I said, about the game, is when you can't get evaluation of players that ultimately you were planning on trying to get seen.
How exciting is it for you to have somebody like Ray Davis catch balls out of the backfield?
Ray's fun. Ray's a fun player to coach. Like you said, he's got a couple different things in his repertoire that he can do well. I thought he ran the ball well. I got to go watch the tape. I don't know if there was a lot there for him on some runs. He had 2 called back on bigger runs, but to be able to leak him out of the backfield and know that he's going to make a play is pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's like a mad scientist for you, right?
It's one of those things that you can use your playmaker in a little bit of a different space, which is nice.
Coach, operationally, it just feels like you got a lot of guys coming in, a lot of guys coming out with every snap. Is that something, just trying to get a look at a bunch of guys?
Yeah, just ultimately with some of our lack of depth at some spots, we have to be more multiple within our personnel groupings. It's still a work in progress because we have to have great communication in and out of the huddle, from the sideline to the huddle, making sure everybody's on the same page. And I can probably stay in some personnel groupings for more than a few snaps just to give them a little bit of chemistry. But that's us trying to play with a lot of people. We're trying to use multiple different personnel groupings to get guys exposure and to get them on the field. But ultimately, I think we can slow it down a little bit and be able to stay in one personnel grouping. And we also got to start to utilize some tempo, because we're only getting so many plays out there, so we got to be able to utilize more tempo.
You may have answered this question already, but what about Taylor Robinson, the way he played the second half? Luckily, he really was down and he made plays when he was out to make.
Yeah, he did some really good things, and was excited about getting him going. In the run pass game, we flipped him the jet sweep, and he can make plays. So got to continue to work on him and keep getting him touches. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Yep.
Sorry, I'm trying to block a sign for you.
Yeah, thank you for your help.
No angle works.
I appreciate it.